Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of M365 Voice. My name is Mike Madarani. I have Antonio.
And I'm Antonio Mayo.
I'm Sarah Hazy.
And we are here today to pick another question from the jar.
Are you ready?
Ready?
We have not done it in a while.
Yes, the last few episodes. So it has been a while since we've actually done this. All right, so we have no idea what's coming up. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay. Wow. In a Microsoft Teams world, is inbox 0 now really achievable? Can we get to inbox 0 in a Teams world?
We've chatted about this. I think all three of us have different approaches to this, don't we?
Yes, we do. And hold on, everybody, because the facial expressions are about to get very real here. Yes. So let's talk about, and we should clarify that this is work email, work team life, right? So we're going to keep this about work. Yes. Antonio, how do you like to manage your inbox at work, especially when you use Teams every day?
So yeah, I do use Teams every day and I use email every single day. I like to answer the question very directly. I don't think inbox 0 is reality. At least not for me, not the way I work, not the amount of traffic that I get, just not the way I've been accustomed to work. So you're going to laugh at that. You've heard this before, but I think everyone else will laugh at this. My inbox is usually fairly full. I am very comfortable if I have 400 or less emails in my inbox. That to me is brilliant. Like I feel like I'm managing things well if I have 400 or less. For some reason, 400 is this kind of weird number. And I categorize every single email. So over the years, literally for 16 years, I've had this set of categories in my head and colors with them. So whenever I start a new job, one of the first things I do is I create these categories in Outlook. I assign the right colors to them because I have these colors in my mind around what these things mean. And every time an email comes in, if it's an action I have to do, it's red. If I'm waiting for somebody else, it's categorized with blue. If it's like an opportunity or some kind of HR related thing I need to do, it's green. If it's just something for reference I keep around because I want to refer back to it easily, it's purple, and so on. And I got a bunch of these. If my email inbox is somewhere between 400 and 600 items, I feel like I'm not managing everything super well. Some things might be falling through the cracks. If it's over 600, then I lose my mind and I have to get it down below to one of those other numbers in order to feel comfortable with work. And that's how I manage my email. And everything else I file. So I have monthly folders in my used to be PST files. Now it's online, where at the end of a month or so, every couple of months, I file things into a monthly folder.
Interesting. Okay, Mike. Before we get to you, because I'm gonna,
save the best for last.
So my work email, I am comfortable when I have less than 12 emails in my inbox.
Oh, wow.
I don't quite hit inbox 0 often, but I usually am running below 15 emails on a really good day, below 10 emails in my inbox. Now, I do file things pretty regularly, and I will coordinate and save an email and create a task off of it if I have to follow up. So much like you use your color coding, I simply take the email and I put it into a task, and I still use Outlook tasks because I still love them. And if you look at my calendar is entirely color coded for different types of meetings. So I can look at the colors on my calendar and know what kind of day I'm going to have and how much I may or may not enjoy my day. So for example, if I have team meetings or one-on-one meetings with employees or my boss, those are green. If I have leadership meetings, those are red. If I have meetings that are related to Microsoft 365 product related meetings, those are kind of a bluish purple color. So I have color coding, and I color code my tasks as well. So I just have a calendar view. That's where I spend most of my time when I'm in Outlook, looking at my calendar and at the tasks that I need to get done. But I was out for a few days last week on vacation and came back, and I was over 300 messages in my inbox, and my anxiety rises dramatically until I get it back down under 50, or at least not. So if I have to scroll to see everything in my inbox, it's bad.
Okay.
And
So
Mike?
I don't have an issue with numbers. My inbox is.
I already can't take it.
Apparently we have issues with numbers, Sarah. Keep going.
I did not mean that. So my inbox is 46,657 emails currently.
I should not have taken a sip of water. Such a bad sign. He's grown since we talked about this last. We talked about it offline, not on a recorded episode, and his email status since then. Yeah. Please tell us why, Mike, because you actually have.
For a couple of reasons. One is I have a OCD with unread, so I don't keep unread emails. I read them all. And in some emails, I store them in different folders where I think they should be. Just very few, not many. I have some folders specifically for specific unique emails. Partner emails, for example, any personal things, conferences that I have some information about. But I rely a lot on search. Search is my best friend. It doesn't matter if I have an email from 2 weeks ago or if I have an email from 2 years ago. I'll just look at search and it works. Yeah. I can find any email from 6 years ago, and I do have a retention period on my email as well. Anything over 7 years gets deleted, but I still have 46. That's in my inbox. That's not.
You want to read that off again, just for effect?
46,657 in my inbox, and that's not including the actual different folders. In the folders, are not many.
I feel like the walls are just continuing to close in, and there won't be any oxygen in 20 seconds. These do not make you nervous.
No, I'm good with that. Like right now, I only have 3 unread in my inbox, so I keep on top of the emails I get, and I don't do any categories. I don't use any color coding. Maybe that's a good idea. I should do that. But I use the task. I flag it to a task, to do an Outlook task for anything I need to follow up on or I need to action it. And I don't set it up for more than a week. So I need to actually clear my task list pretty quick, unless it is something that it has to wait for a period of time. But I actually do clean up pretty often, but I keep them. I don't delete. And I'm happy. I'm good with that.
I feel like it's anxiety producing. Oh my goodness. All right. So we've talked about the inboxes, and I really want to leave your inbox, Mike, because it's making me nervous. But we've talked about inboxes. What about Teams? And what about Teams notifications? How do you feel about Teams notifications? And is it differently than you feel about Outlook notifications? Antonio?
I turn all those notifications off. They drive me insane because I get too many notifications, right? Like it's email notifications, Teams notifications, it's an action in the Action Center in Windows, it's a Defender stopping a threat, it's the virus scanning, it's my backup, it's, oh my God, like all day long I'm getting interrupted with notifications every single day. I had to turn them all off because I couldn't focus on anything. So that's me with those notifications.
Yeah, for me as well. I don't have any notifications, whether it's Outlook or Teams. Exactly to what Antonio said, is very distracting, and you feel specifically for actually turned off the Outlook notifications a long time ago, because I don't want to feel that I have to go and basically every time I get an email, get into the inbox and action it. If I'm doing something else, I want to finish it before I get to my inbox. And similar with Teams, that I don't have any notifications, just from a less distraction as much as possible.
Yeah. How about you, Sarah?
I don't have notifications on my inbox because it drives me crazy. I do still have my notifications on in Teams, but I've been thinking about that and wondering. I think the time is limited on how long I'm going to have those notifications on, and here's why. I've actually seen at Ignite this year, they announced that we were going to start getting Yammer notifications in Teams. and I'm on Yammer every day, and I get a lot of responses in Yammer. And so now all of a sudden I've noticed this week in a couple of instances, I've actually gotten a notification in Teams for a Yammer notification. No, I can't do that, because I only, when I go out to Yammer, which I do throughout the day, I'll deal with whatever things are in Yammer, but I don't want it infiltrating my brain space when I'm doing other things. So the Microsoft has done a great job, I think, of making notifications readily available, but it can be too much. And having Teams definitely, I think, reduces my email load. It reduces greatly the amount of emails that I get, but the notifications in Teams could drive you just as crazy as the ping sound from getting new emails.
Yeah. I was going to ask that if you've seen Teams actually drive down your email. I haven't really. In our work, we dealing a lot with external clients, and our external clients are not in our M365 environment. We don't enable external guests or external sharing. We're federated with some organizations, but very specifically. So I would say I've seen a small reduction, maybe on internal email, but nothing significant that I could notice. So I do find Teams very useful. I do use it a lot, but the first thing I check every day is still email, because that's where all my client stuff comes. That's almost my to-do list, right? Like you both mentioned that you use tasks. I use the Outlook tasks as well. And even despite all the color coding of email, the Outlook tasks are like really high priority stuff I have to get done like this week or next week really soon. So those are really important to me too. But I can't replicate all of that in Teams. Like I have found that, I had this one inbox to manage, and I think I've told you both this. I was on the Microsoft Outlook beta back in 1998. So I've literally been using Outlook every single day of my life since 1998. So I'm dating myself maybe, but I've gotten really fast at managing email. So that's why 400 emails, that's a breeze. Like that's not a big deal to manage. But Teams, it's like I'm on 80 Teams. It's like I have 80 inboxes to check. So I find that brain space much harder than one inbox in email.
Yeah, I agree. For me as well, internally, because we deal a lot with clients, similar with Antonio, it did actually reduce my email usage by, I would say, 30 to 35%, which is great. If I have 46,000, that's a big number.
That's brilliant.
So I do federate with many.
That number, I just want to fall over.
So I federate with many clients. Every time, if there is a long-term relationship with a client, I just federate and add the names to my team as a contact. That way I don't have to email them all the time or email each other. So the notion of having Teams definitely reduced a little bit of the email communication back and forth, especially when you do what I call them a conversation over email. So you just keep going back and forth, which is it's not the good way to do it. So having Teams is a really great way to do it.
I agree. And just to put those your percentage there to real numbers, in your world, 30% of your email is 13,980 emails it reduced. That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That is good.
It's a Microsoft success story. Just imagine it, picture it, a white paper about Mike's inbox and being reduced by Teams. So frankly, I actually think it would be a good test. So for me, my work scenario is different than yours because I work for a large enterprise. So I don't have customers that are outside. My customers are internal employees and business line teams. So my customers are internal, so I can connect with them easily over Teams. I actually think it would be interesting if I could get a report how many channel messages or IMs I sent in Teams in a day versus how many emails I send. And I think it probably reduces it by probably 40%. It's significant because I'm on Teams chat and channel conversations all day long throughout the day. And ironically, if I have to be mobile, so earlier this week I had a couple of doctor's appointments, so I was mobile for a few hours of work time, and I just kept on top of things, but I spent just as much time in my Teams mobile app as I did in my Outlook mobile app to stay on top of things, because I actually got more Teams things that I had to respond to than I did emails to respond to. So it's my anecdotal story.
Yeah, to your point, back when I used to travel, and when we travel again, Teams is great because you keep on top of everything and you don't have to go and emails. I try to actually type an email back, so communicating back and reaching out to others and others reaching out to you as quick as possible on the road is really, really great.
Yeah, I found the Teams mobile app to be really, really good. Like I almost like using it better than the desktop client app. I don't know if I really mean that, but it's just as efficient to me as the Outlook mobile app. So I do find it really, really helpful.
Exactly.
I was going to say, when you used to travel and pick up new hoodies, like the one that you're wearing now, since you got that in my town. So
yeah,
we'll get there again someday. So this is a super interesting topic. So the question again was, is Inbox Zero achievable in a Teams world? Final thoughts.
I don't think so yet. You still have to conduct business through emails. You still have to do some follow-ups through emails, whether it is internal or external. It doesn't matter if you have any, if you're collaborating with internal only, you still have to use email, in my opinion, to, I call it quote unquote, close business or official emails or any official interaction with others. Versus a Teams is still a conversation and it is a collaboration or transitory information or data.
I would agree. It depends what you mean by Inbox Zero. If you mean that Teams eventually replaces email, for today, I think the answer is no. I don't think it replaces email. I don't think Inbox Zero all the time is realistic. Like I don't think Teams creates Inbox Zero for us all the time. Today, if I think about though my kids, who are both teenagers right now and people around that age, like they don't use email. It's amazing to me that like I can't fathom a world without email because I've been in it for so long. But my kids don't use email. They text each other. They work very much in these little transitory messages. So I kind of wonder if in the future that might be a reality. If like when those people who are kids or teenagers now eventually get to the working world, if email isn't as big of a thing and more the chat-based communication of Teams is more prevalent at the time. So maybe over time, but today, no.
I think that that's really interesting to think about because as people like us start moving out of the workforce, whenever that's going to happen, I do wonder what will happen because you're right, even for something that's important. With my kids that comes in an email, I have to ask them, have you looked at your email? Yeah. And oftentimes, if they don't have a reason that they're expecting something in their email, why would I go check my email? Yeah. They have it because it's required to set up an account for the things that they care about.
Exactly. Yeah.
100%.
So maybe over time.
We may get there.
Maybe.
Excellent. So that was a really interesting topic and a different opinion and views on it. Well, thank you for attending and watching us, and hopefully you have some zero inbox, not 46,000 like myself, but it's okay. I like it.
I think that we should clearly ask people, if you watch this episode, that they should declare themselves, a Team Sarah, less than 25, a Team Antonio, 400, or a Team Mike, which is just infinity and beyond, right? So maybe they could let us know what they think.
Infinity is your answer. Infinity is the right choice. Thank you again. It was great having you both, and we will look forward to another episode of M365 Voice. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.